Hey y'all, this is Randy out here in Callaway, and welcome to story time. This one is about my dog Tippy, who loved chasing down skunks. That dog didn't have no sense at all, and every now and again a skunk would come up in the yard and old Tippy would run that thing down like a bolt of lightning. When old Tippy caught up, she jumped straight up in the air, stick her arms out like a flying squirrel, and tackle it down with the strength of old Joe Montana. Anyway, we all know how this would end up, so I called out for Meemaw to please grab me a can of tomato juice so we could start washing her off. This seemed to be the best thing to get rid of that old skunk stink, and as fate would have it on this night, off on the horizon I saw a squat figure low to the ground like that appeared to be steadily rolling in, a-coming right for us. As the shadowy figure drew in closer, I could see it was none other than old Bad Luck Cousin David, coming down the state road on a rusted go-kart. As David pulled up, Meemaw hollered out and said, "Hey David, you know if the law catches you running that go-kart up and down the road, they gonna take you straight to jail." And David said, "Well, they ain't caught me yet, and besides that, the Ford Probe's gonna be in the shop another couple months so they can find me a new door." Suddenly Tippy tensed up like a wild hyena and went to jerking this way and that, trying to get it loose for me in the wash tub. A little old dog covered in soap and tomato sauce is a slickety kind of thing, and before I knowed it, Tippy had got a loose. It turns out another dag-blame old skunk wasn't too far from the first one, and old Tippy was a-running it down as if to say, "Bring it on, buddy, I'm coming to get you like WrestleMania 25. Cousin David fired up the go-kart and said, "Hey y'all, watch this, I'll go get her." He spun around in the driveway throwing gravels all over Meemaw's taters. David sped off like it was Smokey and the Bandit, and down the hill he went, chasing after Tippy, not realizing he was caught up in a chain on the backside of Meemaw's trailer, and before he noted, that chain come up off the ground like a tightrope, and David went flying off in the front of the go-kart and landed smack dab betwixt Tippy and the skunk. A fight then commenced like we ain't never seen. The skunk was on one end and Tippy was on the other, mostly just biting David in the crotch. That dog and skunk was a-fighting and a-gnawing with everything they had, and David's just a-jumping up and down, hollering, and Meemaw hollered back and said, "What in the hell's that, the boot-scooting boogie?" It was dag-blame terrible, and we didn't know quite what to do, so we just stood there on the porch looking. I think the moral of the story here is pretty much this: nature is beautiful and sometimes frightening, especially if you got a skunk hanging onto your britches by the teeth, and claws, and then some more teeth. Anyway, this here's Randy from Callaway. Y'all stay safe out there and keep it rockin'.